Do you believe the federal government will be able to influence a drop in grocery prices?
It depends. Like I've seen they're talking about trying to deal with the major grocery chains to see if they can adjust prices, but I think there's a lot of it to be tied to just general level of inflation in the economy right now, and that driving up everybody's cost of shipping and materials coming into the store. So I don't know if that's the government's place to be interfering with the market, but if there is collusion, which there has been in the past, then it's important to address that and to expose it for what it is. But otherwise, the market generally takes care of itself.
I think that the big retailers have the ability to control the pricing a bit better than they are, especially in a time of interest rates being so high and incomes not following suit. So the big retailers should be able to help out, and I think they've been having some meetings along that way, and that there should be a bit of a correction.
Well, they certainly can just do, what can they do? They can do a lot. They can find a different revenue. I think that what they've been just asking the CEO or whatever, the grocery company, to come and just tell them what is your plan. Maybe the government might like to get a little bit more insights other than politics to get to understand what are they facing. How can we, as a consumer, as a government, can work together?
That's something I honestly don't understand in terms of how that is happening. I kind of got lost back in the supply chain during COVID, so I don't really understand how and why the prices are going up. But I would hope that there'd be some way of at least providing some kind of intervention if there is gouging among the grocery stores. And also, again, just keeping the food banks plentiful, because I know they're suffering right now.
I think so. I think the more pressure that they put on the big grocery chains, the better it will be for the average consumer. I think that one of the problems, one of the problems is that the big grocery chains are making a tremendous amount of profit, even though they have the economic model that says they generally aren't making as much money as they think. But the government has to put pressure on them for the sake of the average consumer, for sure.
I think that's a very hard question, because on one hand, we've seen in the past that wage and price controls do not work, but at the same time, we do have to have some sort of reset when it comes to necessities in life versus luxuries. And the big challenge is that with affordable housing and food costs the way they are, our system is not sustainable.
I think it's extremely difficult. These are a function of supply chains that are global, and they're a result of a series of commercial relationships among companies and producers. And I think it's very difficult to have a top-down approach to influence prices.
I seriously doubt it. I mean, every time gas prices have spiked for the last 50 years, the federal government talks about how they're going to bring it down again, and it's the market. You can't control what somebody in Belize gets paid to pick a banana, and costs have gone up, and that's just a harsh reality for all of us.
Okay, Madam, anything to add?
No, I don't blame the federal government for that. I think the big groceries are making record profits, and it's not the federal government's problem.
But do you think they're going to be able to talk them down?
No, I don't.
No? Why?
Well, there's only about 3 of them left. There's very little competition left in grocery stores. Yeah.
Yes, the federal government can do all kinds of things to influence prices. And I think it's just a matter of will and using the mechanisms that they have. So yes, so it's a matter of making things a priority.
I think there's definitely a certain degree of control that they have there, for sure. Rising costs are trends that are happening all around the world, and it's up to individual governments how they're handling it and how they're creating more affordable grocery bills in general for their populations, for their citizens. There's a lot of great initiatives, in Canada and in Alberta and Edmonton in particular. I think federally, yes, there is things that can be done for sure.
Sometimes, unfortunately, people have to choose between, like just recently I had to choose between being able to afford a drink that I need or be able to have enough to make it to the next paycheck. And I'm like, I'll buy the less healthy stuff because it's less expensive, but the healthy stuff is better for me and is far more less likely to cause heart problems. So It's a question of do you use what you've got and make yourself suffer, or do you try to hedge your bets with what you can get? I hope, to be honest, my understanding of economics is not the best at best of times. So in terms of how they would make that work, I really don't know. But I hope that there are people out there who are smarter than me who will be actually listened to. Because there are experts, but so many people just let pride get in the way and think that I know everything, and therefore we should all do things my way even if it doesn't make much sense. So I'm hoping that there's smarter people than me out there being listened to.